just can't think of anything. You ought to have heard my uncle because he was named General. He wasn't a general, this is far from it, you know, he used to like his pint of beer. But anyway, he used to come to all our parties and he was great. And he used to tell us when the cuckoo fled over here and then he went over to Wales on you. When he went over to Wales on you, cookie, cookie. But over here, it's cuckoo, cuckoo.
I have to get rid of my accent because otherwise I don't understand a word I say.
It's all yow and stuff. I mean, I do it and I'm not aware of it.
How bin you?
How bist? How bist?
I've been your arm on and all that, you know.
A welly.
My dad always used to say if somebody asked him how he was bad a bed and wuss up.
He was a local preacher and went around seeing, and he says, I had to go and see Celia because hers had a basin full.
The old saying was it was a Boston firm.
One of the best words is Boston, which really means fine. Boston is always a good one. Everyone uses Boston.
That's Boston, ain't or anything like that.
What's annoying I find is when people say you're from Birmingham
Ah, yes.
and we're not from Birmingham, we're the black country.
It's chalk and cheese.
And it's entirely different.
Yes,
Wonderful.
I mean, I talk how I am now. I've never been brought up to broad black country or anything.
Everywhere you go, people say, oh, you come from Cradley, don't you?
You talk to people that say, I know where you come from. And you say, where? You come from Cradley.
They can't see as good as they cost.
I don't went to milk today, Dad.
And the chebble's the table.
I don't think I've got a Cradley accent. I can talk in good black country, but my daughters tell me off and say, Mother, what are you talking like that for?
I know my nan used to mention the Fowd, and nobody knows what the Fowd is, but I know what it is because it's this area between your outhouses and your house.
Well, my nan always used to say, have you been and cleaned that fold? And I used to think, well, what's a fold?
Block paving sort of area, you know, stoned floored area. You'd clean the Fowd.
Where I work now, if you was to say fold, they don't know what you're talking about.
These two Welshmen just talked in Welsh, you see, and we couldn't understand them at all. So then I said to Brian, let's give him a bit of black country. So we did, and he can talk black country very well. And they stopped,
And just
stunned, got up and walked out. At the club, they couldn't understand what we was on about.
thought you were foreigners, which you were in Wales.
Words in the Black Country dialect were actually German. You've got bist, and grandfather and father always referred to a row of houses as Hausen. And a lot of German words were incorporated, brought over by the German pirates.
Well, I think the Cradley accent is great.
Amy took it to the football club up Aylesford, and this bloke was talking, and he says, what home my wench, how you going? And he says, he's just called me a wench. I says, why's he called me a wench? And Amy says, oh, that's just the way we am round here, like, you know, don't take offence to it. And he took it a bit funny, I think.
My granny only ever spoke in Cradley and if anybody tried to talk proper to her, she didn't understand. She'd keep going, aye, till you spoke in a proper Cradley accent to her.
I better go into you.
You warned me all day do it.
Keep out this road.
I'm from Cradley.
How's you going? I've had the chetters today. Real chetters.
Mr. Mitchell at the school where I went to on the top of Homer Hill, he tried desperately to eradicate our accent.
People talk about the Cradley accent, but I must admit I never really think about it that much.
I think mine over the years was peppered down a bit because I worked in Birmingham a lot.
Everybody around where I was brought up when I was a kid spoke the same, so that was proper English to me.
It's the best in the world. Never been inhibited in your black country roots. I'm rather proud of mine.
Put the now. Shut the door. Shut that door. Put the now.
Where bist they?
Tar a bit. and I think that's just about my limit.
The cost and see as good as the cost without the specs.
Oh, yeah, they wash your face this morning.
Evans, the schoolmistress then, when I went there, I mean, if she'd have heard of us say what I've just said, you can't do that, you know, you can't do that, and all these sort of things, she would have said, you can't do that, that's the way to speak. She didn't encourage the cradley twang, as we call it. She came from Birmingham, of course.
What do you want me to say?
Why do you speak?
What am you doing here?
Where didn't you come from? You're by from round here, been you?
Other folks don't speak proper.
That's it. Not like we done.
Well, the good people, they like to hear it. They really do.
I love it. And in fact, I've lived here now nearly 34 years. I've lived over in Cradley, and I think I've started to get the twang a bit over that way. Especially me and the missus now. And even the kids, I think it's, out of all the black country, I think round here is one of the best twangs.
I love it. I'm very proud of it. Not many people talk with the proper Cradley accent, but yeah, I love it.